YouTube, with us as the NBA community being lucky enough to witness a league in 2024 that has been brimming with young talent, maybe even to the likes that we've never quite seen before in the NBA. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down 5 young players that I think could break out to superstardom, or at the very minimum, all-stardom, if you want to say that, in the 2025 season. Here are my 5 breakout players for next season. Let's talk about it. The first player I want to mention on this list is someone I've talked about in a previous video, and quite frankly, I feel has maybe the highest ceiling of anyone on this list, and the discourse around him is absolutely quiet. I don't see anyone talking about this player, and that is 22-year-old forward out of Duke for the Atlanta Hawks, Jaylen Johnson. Now, Jaylen Johnson, I believe if he qualified for the 65-game threshold, would have been my favorite to win Most Improved Player award in the 2024 NBA regular season. The improvement that Jaylen Johnson made from the 2023 season, really cannot be understated. I mean, unfortunately dealt with some nagging injuries throughout the season, limiting him to only 56 games played in the regular season, but Jaylen Johnson has a special future. First of all, for a small forward, he has incredible size and athleticism. I mean, he's 6'8", 219 pounds. I think he might even be a little bit bigger than that if you watch him play. He plays much bigger than that, and that is already pretty big for a small forward. But Jaylen Johnson, I mean, almost tripling every major stat category from 2023 and showing all of the tools to be a two-way dominant monster as a forward in this league. You hear a lot about the Hawks with the first overall pick and Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. You rarely hear anyone talking about Jaylen Johnson as the future star of this team. And like I said, I mean, what is there not to like about this kid, right? 16 points a game, 9 rebounds or assists, about a steal and a block, over 56 games, 34 minutes played per game, 52% from the field, 36 from 3 on 4 attempts, and 72.8% from the line. I mean, like I said, the guy is a dynamic forward. I mean, in transition, he is a great athlete. He can get to the rim on his own. He's got pretty good handles for the position. Great rebounder, has a lot of defensive upside as well. Expect Jaylen Johnson, if he continues to improve his perimeter game. I mean, if Jaylen Johnson can somehow end up next season improving on his shot creation, particularly, like I said, from the perimeter, this guy is a superstar in this league. And I just don't see anyone talking about him. Like I said, I don't understand that, because Jaylen Johnson is a special talent and has all the tools to be able to become a star in this league. For the number 2 player on the list for the breakout candidates, we have 2023 NBA draft 2nd overall pick, and that is Brandon Miller of the Charlotte Hornets. You've heard the Paul George comparisons. You've seen Brandon Miller's game. I mean, he's a dynamic offensive player. Paul George is actually a great comparison for him because of the size and build profile and just his game in general. I mean, he really does resemble Paul George in a lot of ways. But, a lot of people had scrutiny for the Hornets selecting Brandon Miller 2nd overall instead of Scoot Henderson. Turned out to be a really great move for the Hornets. I think they had a home run pick here. I think this guy is a future offensive superstar. In his first season as a rookie, while the Hornets weren't a very good team, obviously, Brandon Miller played 74 games in the regular season, 33 minutes per game, shot 44% from the field, 37 from 3 on 7 attempts per game as a rookie. That's pretty insane. 83% from the line, ended up scoring 17 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. The big thing that jumps out to me is the efficiency as a rookie. I mean, these are numbers that you could see efficiency-wise from an all-star with a little bit of a ramped up scoring totals, right? So if he keeps this same scoring efficiency from, field goal, 3-point line, free throw line, and, ramps up his scoring production to like 23, 24 points a game, I mean, those look like Paul George numbers to me, right? And like I said, the profile is kind of similar. He's listed at 6'7", 200 pounds. He is a shooting guard, small forward hybrid. You could maybe even stretch him to the 4 if you want to get crazy with it, but to me, he's a 2 or a 3 versatile, and I think he might even be taller than 6'7". He plays taller. Like I said, he really has that innate ability to break down a defender, create a shot. He just, the dude's got a bag, right? And the shooting is what really stands out. Like I said, 37% on 7 attempts as a rookie is pretty unheard of, especially for a forward. I mean, Brandon Miller has a sky high, ceiling in this league as an offensive player. You'll love to see it for the Charlotte Hornets. Before I get into the 3rd player, because, we do have a few more to go through, but I do want to mention that, a lot of people I can already see would be saying, what about Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama? Those two might be the brightest future of any players in the league, right? And the reason I don't have them on the list is just because simply, those 2 guys in particular played at arguably an all-star level this season, arguably an all-NBA caliber 2024 season. So they didn't make any of those, they didn't make any of those teams or lists. But my point is, it's hard for me to call, Wemby a breakout when he's had maybe the best rookie season ever. And like I said, played like an all-star already. So I think he's already a star, and Chet Holmgren as well. I mean, I'm going to predict both of those guys to be on the Western Conference All-Star team next season. So technically they could be on the list, but like I said, it's hard for me to say they're going to be a breakouts because, these guys are already great players at such a young age, and these guys are absolutely going to get better next next season, but like I said, it's just hard for me to call them a breakout when they're already so great. For the third player on the list, we're going to have Rockets big man Alperen Sengun, and a lot of you guys that are watching this that have been around the channel for a little while, you know that I made that Rockets video about, you know, primarily their future and Alperen Sengun as the probably brightest part of it, right? And so you know my feelings towards Sengun if you've been watching the channel a while, but you know, for those who don't know, I'll fill you in. I think Alperen Sengun is a special generational type of offensive big man talent in this league. He's gotten comparisons to Jokic light or baby Jokic, right? And that's, you know, I think anytime there's a center that can pass, it's going to be, you know, Jokic light or whatever, a European guy. So I will say Sengun is, with each season that goes by, looking more and more like a franchise type of player. I mean, you know, I don't know how else to say it. Offensively, he is a generational talent. You know, a lot of people don't really seem to understand this fully, and like, you know, he's struggled defensively at times throughout his career, so they like picking him apart on that end, and maybe he's not the traditional center that you love. But you know, Jokic got a lot of the same criticisms, and I'm not trying to compare the kid to Jokic because that's unfair to anyone, but I do see some parallels in how they're being perceived early in their careers at least. But you know, people forget Sengun is only 21 years old. I mean, that is a rookie age. There's gonna be rookies that are drafted in 2024 that are older than Alperen Sengun, and he's already putting up in the 2024 season 21 points per game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and about a steal and a block on 54% from the field. I mean, you know, we talked about before how if Sengun can develop a consistent three-pointer, doesn't have to be anything crazy, he doesn't have to be, you know, 40% or anything like that, but if he can knock him down on a catch and shoot at a league average clip, I think that really helps his progression forward. I expect Alperen Sengun to be an all-star next season, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. Like I said, look out for him in the future. The fourth player on this list I'm going to mention is maybe not someone who could be an all-star next season for his team, but I think definitely has already shown signs of a breakout candidate, and that is Andrew Nembhard, guard for the Indiana Pacers. As we all know, had an amazing playoff run for the Pacers in the 2024 Eastern Conference Finals run that they had. He's an amazing perimeter defender for his size. I mean, you know, he's really like a point guard or a two guard. You know, they played him a lot at the two just because of Tyrese Halliburton, you know, getting all those point guard minutes. But, you know, his season numbers this season and last season don't do it justice of just how great he could potentially be for the Pacers. Like I said, another really young player, only 24 years old, second year guy this season. And what really stood out was his playoff production, right? And this guy was not afraid of the moment. He came in, he hit big time shots, he locked up big time players every single night and was one of their more consistent pieces on that team. Andrew Nembhard could be a mainstay in the Pacers core moving forward with Halliburton, Siakam, and Miles Turner. We'll have to see how that all ends up, but like I said, dynamic type of player. I mean, he can really get to the basket and score. He's got a little mid-range kind of floater thing. Awesome playmaker as well. I mean, I think this guy, it could be a secondary ball handler for the Pacers with his dynamic playmaking and self-creation game as well from the perimeter, but also a great shooter. I mean, throughout the playoff run, he averaged 15 points per game, 3 rebounds, and with me rounding up 6 assists. But like I said, the defense is also really crucial here. I mean, this is a guy that constantly took on, like I said, big challenges from the backcourt, guarding guys like Jalen Brunson consistently well, guarding guys like, you know, Jaylen Brown, even Drew Holiday in these playoffs. So you really got to love what you're seeing from the young Andrew Nembhard. But in the playoffs, like I said, he shot 56% from the field, 48 from 3 on 3.5 attempts per game. I mean, like I said, I think he could be a special type of talent. I'm not sure he's ever going to be a star or a superstar, but I think breakout is a right term to put on him for next season. And for the final player on this list, we have Warriors forward and young standout and potentially, you know, future player of that team, Jonathan Kuminga. You know, Kuminga's been around a couple years now, and like I said, still a young player, only being 21 years old from that power forward position. But in his rookie season, it played, you know, some pretty impactful minutes in the Warriors finals run, and also, you know, showing a lot of athleticism and juice with a team that otherwise lacks it a little bit from time to time in certain positions on that team. But Kuminga really stands out as a dynamic two-way potential player, really showing his offensive game has improved quite a bit this season, being able to stay on the floor. You know, Steve Kerr doesn't always like to play a lot of young players, but Kuminga was so great this season in his offensive production that he is one of their top options offensively. I mean, just the regular season, he averaged 16 points a game over 74 game stretch, only playing 26 minutes a game. But like I said, he is a really tough guy to stop getting to the basket. I mean, he wants to get downhill. He's an aggressive rim, you know, slasher and stuff like that. But 6'7", 230 from the power forward position. Like I said, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Pretty good defender as well. I think one of their better defenders, and has struggled throughout his career from the three-point line, you know, only shooting 32% this season. So the efficiency does have to get better, but his, you know, field goal percentage for the season was 53. So if he can, like I said, similar to Sengun, if he can knock down some catch and shoots at a 36 to 40% clip, he will be one of the best, most athletic power forwards in this entire league, in my opinion. I think Kuminga has a really bright future, and he seems to be getting better every single season, and this year was really a standout type of season for him, and maybe for things to come for the Warriors. So I think he could absolutely be a breakout candidate for 2025. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the list. Make sure you guys let me know down in the comment section. Did I leave anybody off that you think could be, definitely a breakout candidate for 2025? What would your list look like if you had to make one? Or, you think I missed somebody on your favorite team or whatever it is, man. Let me know all of that stuff down in the comments. I love engaging with you guys down there. You guys have been absolutely amazing with the support. Thank you so much for all the support over the past, few months and stuff like that. It's just, I'm really happy to be doing this every day. And like I said, if you guys did enjoy it, leave a comment, subscribe, really helps out. And you guys are just so amazing, man. I just love basketball, and I'm so lucky to be able to, make content for you guys every day. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day today. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, because we do upload content just like this every single day. We're gonna be covering final stuff. We cover off-season stuff when the finals are over, and the Summer Olympics coming up. There's a lot of fun stuff to be talking about in the NBA. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys, I don't want you guys to miss any of that. So make sure you guys stick around and subscribe. Other than that, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day today. I will catch you guys in the next one. This is your boy D Haven, as always. Peace.